So, Rebel, what was it about How to Be Single that made you want to be a part of it?
I really liked the message of the film. There's a lot of romantic comedies that have been in the past that I'm like, oh, I don't really relate to that. But this one, I mean, it celebrates being single and loving yourself and knowing your true worth. And I think that's a really, really good message to send out there. A very modern message as well.
And also, you have a great character, Robin. I mean, what is she like?
Yeah. I mean, everyone who worked on the script and led by Dana Fox did such a good job because my character is like this wealth of knowledge about dating and single life, and yet she's really, really funny and kick-ass. And then there's also some, dimension to her as, she's a bit of an alcoholic, and she has this great friendship with Dakota Johnson's character throughout the film. And I just think all those elements made it a really attractive role.
She kind of takes Dakota's character, Alice, under her wing, right? When Alice comes to New York.
Yeah, and Dakota's a bit more naive and innocent than my character, and I kind of show her a good time. And some people say like the real love story in this film is between me and her, like the friendship between us girls, which is really good. Yeah, I definitely had a lot of fun working with her.
And also, that's a fun relationship to explore because lots of fun things happen during that, right?
Yeah. I mean, we go out and we try to pick up guys, and to varying degrees of success. and then we often shot at night in real clubs and stuff, and it was really fun.
And how was it to work so closely with Dakota? What is she like?
I think she's a really fascinating person. She's an amazing actress. She can just turn it on. Like, she's so emotionally accessible, and she can... what I love is that she can do, like, hardcore drama, like in Black Mass recently, and 50 Shades of Grey, which is just like... I was going to say hardcore porn, but it's not hardcore. It's like softcore. And then she can do a comedy like How to Be Single, and she's so funny and adorable in the film. I just think she's an amazing actress.
I believe that you mostly followed the script, but you also got to improvise a bit, right?
Yeah. I mean, Christian, our director, he wasn't used to improvising because he's never done like an American comedy before, and because he's from Germany. But he certainly like let us do our thing in certain scenes, and of course that's like my specialty. That's my wheelhouse. So I love to just add in little jokes, and I think you can tell in the movie. You can tell kind of, if you look carefully, what the difference between the scripted stuff and the stuff that really just did happen in the moment.
And yes, you're right. This is Christian's first like Hollywood movie.
Mm-hmm.
What was he like on set? What kind of a director is he?
He, so he's German, and then a lot of his key crew were German as well. So like they'd be like having these conversations in German, and you're like, oh, what's going on? But I think what was going on is that they had a really clear, great vision for the film, how to make it funny and heartfelt, and how to get really good performances out of all of us. And they just stuck to that vision the whole time and totally delivered on it. But I do remember, like, Christian, he liked a lot of the physical stuff the best. And he was always telling me, like, just run over and jump on Dakota. Or Dakota, you just run on and just jump on Rebel. Like, he always just loved us jumping on each other. And we did a lot of that. Yeah, hugging, jumping on each other, pushing each other. Like, I don't know, he liked that.
You also did a lot of partying. Were those scenes fun to shoot?
Yeah, although the club scenes, there's a few scenes where I'm wearing light-up dresses. One was so heavy because it has about 20 battery packs, or they're like little bricks hidden in them, and then you have to dance in it as well, but make it appear like seamless. And then you've got 300 extras dancing around you. It can get quite hot and sweaty in those environments, but it was definitely fun. Some days you got to pinch yourself and say, "Oh my God, I'm getting paid to do this."
And you really did shoot the movie in New York, because other movies that take place in New York aren't really shot there. But this one, New York's a character in the movie, and you really were in and around New York. How was that experience?
I am such a big fan of New York. I first came to New York when I was 24 on a scholarship that Nicole Kidman had paid for me to have. So I had like this apartment on the West Side, and I fell in love with New York. I just think it is the most... also because I'm a huge fan of Broadway. So I just love New York. And then the fact that in this film, we got to film in Central Park, Times Square, like outside Macy's, in Bloomingdale's, like all your kind of things where tourists come in New York City. We were there like out on the streets filming. And some of the cooler places, like in the West Village where we filmed, like it was so awesome because I'm always learning about new places to go to and that kind of thing. And so I feel like I know a lot more about New York having spent like so much time there last year.
And that really all adds to it, making it all more real, right? Because these are characters that, however crazy or outrageous things they do at times, they're believable. Do you believe that, you know, that the comedy comes out of reality in this case, and that sometimes those are the funniest moments when you really relate to these people? Yeah,
and I think this movie, the way the characters are written, it is very relatable, and it's also like very up to date with what the dating scene and the single scene is like in New York City. And I think it's a good reflection. Also because you have the 4 characters, so you have myself, Dakota's character, Leslie, and Alison's. We all have different perspectives that are all, you'll know people that are like all of the people in the film.
So what would you say are the best things about being single? You can do what you want, Anna?
Yeah, do what you want. Don't have to consult with anybody. You can just spend your money on ridiculous things that just you like. There's heaps of positives. I don't know why more people aren't single. Because sometimes they're suffering when they codependent relationships. There are some negatives, like you have to bring someone to a wedding and you're like, who am I going to pick? And yeah, but there are some downsides. But I think it's a big misconception that single people are lonely. As my character Robin shows, she's having like the time of her life being single.
And also she doesn't take herself too seriously. I love that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. And she drinks very heavily, which is really fun to play.
What did you think of the movie when you finally saw it? What surprised you the most about it?
That I cried in the film. I think that was really surprising. I wasn't expecting to have that much emotion. And I was like, wow, like of course there's like the funny bits that you get hinted at in the movie trailer, but there was so much emotion and it really got me at the end. And I started crying and Christian's like, you know, what did you think? And I'm still crying at the end of the film. But yeah, I can't wait to see the audience reaction because, I think they're going to really enjoy it.
Just to wrap it up and following up on what you're saying, we can see your character too. Initially, we could just think she's some party girl, but actually she has a lot of depth with her, and we see that arc throughout the movie, and that's a beautiful part of the movie too, right?
Yeah, and and there were some things that were cut from the film, like I would improvise certain things about why I maybe drink too much, like that I'd, you know, had an incident in my past where I got really drunk and my cousin died near me or something. I made up these things. They're not in the movie, but I think all of the little backstories kind of that I created in my own mind, I think if you watch it, you know, the performance is quite naturalistic and it's not just a wild, crazy girl. You see that she does have a soul underneath there.
She does. Thank you so much.
No worries.
Such a pleasure.
No worries.